Hey, what's up, peeps? It's your boy PC Williams coming to y'all live again on a great Monday. Hope y'all had a great weekend. I know I did, man. Um, Before we start the show up, this is 1K Sports, uncut, unfiltered, unbiased, unapologetic, man. So, got a few things we'll get into today. I ain't gonna hold up y'all too long, man. Ain't got much to say today. Got a few things we'll get into. Um, Holiday season, man. Hope everybody enjoying their holidays. Getting stuff for the kids, man. As you can see, it look a little different in here. We got the tree over there in the corner and everything, so everything look a little different here in the little room, man. So, but thank y'all for tuning in, man. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Good to see y'all. So, let's get down to it. Well, if I could for a second, I want to take my pride, as in my Tiger pride, and put it to the side. As you all know, the Reigns Vikings did capture the state 4A state championship, and the Mandarin Mustangs captured the 8A state championship. And I ain't gonna lie, this 1K Sports, I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. So, oh, what's up, my man Greg Mercer, Millie Mercer, a very unsung artist here in Jacksonville, man. If y'all ain't heard none of his music, man, y'all make sure y'all tune in to his page, man. Check out his freestyles and everything, bro. Definitely got lyrics for you. He a little mad because my Cowboys spanked that ass last night, but we ain't worried about y'all, man. Y'all down there. We trying to get where y'all was last year. So at the end of the day, we beat y'all ass, but we trying to get somewhere where y'all was last year. So it's all love. We got a long way to go, man. We beat y'all ass though. So, but yeah, man, when y'all get a chance, man, check out my dog, Millie Mercer page, man. Check out some of his freestyles, man. Dude really can't spit, man. Well, I'm not gonna lie. When Reigns won the state championship, I didn't offer a congratulatory, response. Actually, I was hoping they lost it. I'm being real. I'm a Tiger. I'm an Andrew Jackson Tiger to my heart. I hate the Reigns Vikings. I hate Reebok Trojans. I hate First Coast. I hate Mandarin. I hate everybody. I hate everybody that's not a Andrew Jackson Tiger. So the competitive part of me looked at like, whatever, man. Who cares? Who cares? And I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It's 1K Sports. I'm gonna tell y'all how it is, man. I'm gonna tell y'all how it be. Reigns actually played in a state championship a couple years ago, and they played Booker T. Washington. And Booker T. Washington had a coach named Torrance Moise, who I played with in college. The hands down the best ball player I ever played with, Torrance Moise. He played for Booker T. Washington, y'all. I actually inboxed him and said, man, y'all beat their ass. I don't like them. They my biggest rival in high school. I hate them. Y'all beat them down for me. And they did. And, whatever, sour grapes, we'll get over it, whatever. But that's just how I feel. But I took a step back, and I think I went and got my hair cut Saturday, and my barber kind of put me on blast, saying, hey, it's Jacksonville, it's y'all rivalries and all that and thing like that. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I thought about it a little bit, and I thought about it, I slept on it, and I really just thought to myself, man, like, it's okay to pat them boys on the back and say, what, no, good job. So, put my Tiger pride to the side. I'm sorry, but congratulations to the Reigns Vikings. Congratulations to the Reigns Vikings and the Mandarin Mustangs on capturing their state championships. I think this is very significant for the city of Jacksonville. We're no stranger to success here, but when you think about Jacksonville high school football and you think about winning a state championship, the first thing comes to your mind is the Bowl School, Trinity Christian. You don't think about the Duval County Public Schools having that kind of success at that level because we've always been viewed as too immature, can't put together a team, very selfish. So I think putting my pride to the side and just saying, look, Reigns won. And the reason why I have animosity towards Reigns is maybe it's competitiveness and it's a little bit of jealousy because I played ball at Andrew Jackson from 2000 2004 to 2007 when I graduated, and I never lost to Reigns. I never lost to Reigns, Reebok, Lee, First Coast, and I wear that proudly. I wear that very proud because you have some of the greatest players that ever played the game of football, period. Leon Washington, Carl Walker, Michael Hicks, some of the greatest players to ever come through Jackson can never say, I never lost to Reigns. I never lost to Reebok. I never lost to Lee. And the fact that I can say that, myself and some of my senior classmates who didn't play their freshman year on varsity can say, hey, we never lost to our biggest rivalries. So there is a sense of pride that comes with that statement. And I've always felt like, you know, I look at Reigns, I look at Jackson, I feel like from 2000 to 2010, there was not a more dominant program in the city than the Jackson Tigers. I don't care what y'all say about history and tradition, because I feel like Reigns and Reebok have had a great tradition. It's such a great history, you know, in terms of how they're so family oriented. In Jackson, we don't have that kind of rich tradition in terms of being that close between classes. But for that 10-year period from 2000 to 2010, I felt like Andrew Jackson was the best high school in the state of Florida. I mean, in Jacksonville. And that's just my opinion. So my resentment of seeing Reigns win back-to-back state championships, I wouldn't say it's jealousy. It's just competitiveness. And I feel like if you're my rival forever. I don't want to see you ever win. But I've realized, you know, doing my podcast, I realized I have to step aside from what I feel sometimes from an emotional standpoint about the situation. And like I said, I respect Reigns and Reebok's culture. I feel like they have such a close alumni base. I feel like Jackson can be so much better at, you know, being close beyond that. It's like when Jackson is good, the football team is good, that's when everyone comes together. I mean, there were years where Reebok was horrible, but yet they still had the Reebok reunion. They still showed up for the games. It was still so much support. So there's a little bit of jealousy in terms of their history and the fact that I hold on to the fact that I never lost to them. But them winning a state championship for Jacksonville is special because you don't really hear about Duval County Public School. There's always been that reputation of, oh, they're all about themselves. They're just trying to go D1. They're not going to be able to put together a whole team effort to win. So hats off to the Reigns Vikings and hats off to Mandarin. Reigns won back-to-back. Congrats on that. You know, so I wash my hands of the pride. I put the pride to the side. But I will always remind every Reigns Viking I ever run into that you never beat me. So there it is. I said it, man. But on the real, congrats to the Reigns Vikings. Congrats to the Mandarin Mustangs, who I also never lost to. You know, but it's, you know, it is what it is, man. And it's great for the city that these young men went out here and did something special. It gives these young men, these aspiring football players, something to look up to. Like, hey, we can win a state championship. It don't have to be all about me getting my stats and looking good and making sure I go D1. It's like, hey, we can all come together and win a state championship, and that's special. And it can't always be the Bowles Bulldogs or the Trinity Christian School. It can be a Duval County Public School. You know, it can happen. So much love to those young men. I'm proud of you guys. A great job, great accomplishment. You know, don't rest on your laurels, man. Keep going forward, keep pressing forward, and do what you do, man. So I'm a proud Jackson Tiger. I don't apologize for it, and I will continue to talk my trash whenever I see Reigns or Reebok, any of y'all anywhere, man. But all that aside, good job. I appreciate it. Thank y'all for what y'all did for the city, putting on like that, man. So, you know, much love, man, and congrats to the Reigns Vikings and the Mandarin Mustangs. Much love for 1K Sports, baby. All right. All right. Well, that takes care of that love fest. We all done with that. Well, the Heisman Trophy was presented on Saturday night, and Kyler Murray won the Heisman. And how do I feel about it? I feel like he deserved it. Look, let's just call it what it is. I am a Bama fan. I love Roll Tide all day. But I feel like Kyler Murray, because of how everything went, it just seemed like Tua just blew everyone out every week. It was never a close game with Tua. And then the biggest game of the year, he gets hurt. So, you know, my man Millie Mercer, you right, man. And it's that competitive thing, man. So on one hand, I say, hey, they ain't never beat me. They couldn't win when we were playing, but hey, at the end of the day, I gotta respect the champion. They are the champions. So, much love to those boys, man. So, but back to the Heisman, I feel like Kyler Murray was very consistent all year. Put up big numbers. I mean, 4,000 yards passing, 892 on the ground. That's blew my mind. And he got 51 touchdowns total. So I look at the season that Kyler Murray had, and I'm like, wow, the guy really had a great year. I can't deny that. But I also feel like that was great because I felt like going into this season, I didn't want Tua Tagovailoa to get everything handed to him. I feel like he won the starting job fair and square. No debating that. He's the better man of the two. Y'all know I love Jalen Hurts, man, but Tua is the guy. He's the quarterback of the future for the Crimson Tide. That's the way it is. That's the decision that was made. That's what it is. But I felt like this year I wanted Tua not to suffer, but I wanted Tua to go through some things. I wanted him to be humble. Maybe being in a tough, close game, maybe pull it out at the end, which he had a shot to do against Georgia, but he got hurt. So all year long, it's been kind of just laid out for Tua, just running through everybody. And he finally got some adversity. And I wasn't happy to see him get hurt. And he's going to be fine for the bowl game for what I read and everything. So I just feel like Tua, I wanted him to keep that edge, that chip on his shoulder that he plays with, that fire that makes him so great. I wanted him to keep that. And I think losing this Heisman will make Tua, it will make him say, you know what? Now I got a reason to fight again. Now I have a reason to go out here and train even harder. Now I have a reason to keep fighting, and I feel like losing this Heisman, it will reignite the fire back into it because as athletes, no matter how great you are, whatever, you have a tendency to get complacent and you fall in love with the love that's given to you. And Tua, as humble as a kid as he is, I mean, at the end of the day, he's still 19 years old. So if you're 19 years old, you see your face all over ESPN, everyone loves you. You've changed history. You've changed the world of Alabama. You've turned a powerhouse into a powder keg. So it's like, dang, like now it's like, it's hard not to embrace that kind of love you get from the world, from the outside world. So I feel like Tua, and he hasn't shown any signs of being complacent, but it's good to know that, he has gone through adversity. And losing this Heisman, he deserved it, but I feel like it should have been given to Kyler Murray because of how consistent he was. He had to win some big games, despite his defense, whatever, but, it is what it is. So Kyler Murray deserved the Heisman. And as a Bama fan, I'm happy because I feel like that will ignite the fire in Tua to go out there and close this thing out and bring home number 18 to the Crimson Tide. So I'm cool with Murray winning because I think it will motivate Tua, and not just Tua, the Bama defense, who's been playing all year with a chip on their shoulder anyway. They kind of got torched a little bit against Georgia. They kind of came out the second half and buckled down. But you have a defense now that believes in their quarterback. And this defense, they love Tua. They love that kid because they feel like, wow, we finally have someone that we can really hang our hat on. It ain't have to be a game manager situation or, we got to play perfect on defense. We have a quarterback that can take us there. And that defense believes into it. That defense will go to the gates of hell for that kid. And they feel like their guy was robbed of the Heisman. So they're going to come out in that bowl game ready to play. Kyler Murray in that Oklahoma offense is dynamic. Y'all know I love Hollywood Brown, CeeDee Lamb. Those guys are just phenomenal. But I think Bama's defense, they're going to be fired up for the challenge. I did pick Bama to win that game. I stand behind that. I stand behind my team. I just think Bama will get a few more stops on defense and win that game. Oklahoma will score. I mean, Bama will be fired up. They will come out ready to play, but Oklahoma will score. But I think Bama being fired up, wanting to prove a point for Tua, I think that makes this game a lot more of an epic classic, man. So I don't see it being a blowout because OU was just too fire. They got too much firepower to get blown out. But I think Bama gets a couple of interceptions, maybe a defensive touchdown, maybe Jalen Waddle takes one to the house on the punt return. They do a little bit more other than scoring to win that game. So I got Bama, and when you have a Tua that's motivated, a defense that feels that Tua was robbed, and Bama has the best receiving core and backfield in the country. So roll tide, baby. But now Bama shouldn't be too saucy because on award night they did go home with some hardware. Jerry Jeudy, top receiver on the team, he won the Fred Biletnikoff Award for the nation's top receiver, the second receiver in the history of other programs to do that. Other guy was Amari Cooper, who I'll get to in a bit. So Jerry Jeudy won the Fred Biletnikoff Award for top receiver. Quentin Williams has been a beast all year, won the Outland Trophy for most outstanding interior lineman. And Tua won the Maxwell Award for the best player in college. So, they didn't go home empty-handed, but they wanted that Heisman for their guy. And so they won it bad, but they shouldn't be too saucy. They did go home with some awards on the award night, so we'll see. But they are motivated because they feel like Tua should have won that Heisman. So I think Kyler Murray won the Heisman rightfully so, but Tua's coming now. Now Tua has a reason to go back out there and get something back that was taken from him again. So look forward to that. Well. I just got one question, y'all. How about them Cowboys? Well, that's 5 in a row, y'all. That's 5 in a row. But I get it. Y'all not convinced. Oh, it's Philadelphia. They ain't good this year. This 5-game winning streak, it's really put this whole Cowboy fans and Cowboy haters, it's put it all into perspective for me. And I see it now. Like, the Cowboys were 3-5. Now, keep in mind, the Cowboys were not even picked to win or even go to the playoffs. Now, keep in mind, this is a team that was picked to not even make the playoffs. So they go out there to start 3-5. Okay, you go and get Amari Cooper, and everything changes. You win. You beat the defending champions twice. You beat Washington, you beat Atlanta, you beat New Orleans. It's still not good enough for anyone. And you know what? At this point, Cowboy haters, you might want to just tone down because you're actually fueling this run. This Cowboys team is not like those Cowboys teams of the past. Is Dak Prescott a better quarterback than Tony Romo? No, he's not. But he has intangibles that Romo never had. He has mental toughness Romo never had. Now, he can be a little flicky with the ball, fumbling. We'll get to that in a minute. But I just think right now the Cowboys are becoming the NFL's version of the Detroit Pistons, the bad boys. Because nobody wants to give the Cowboys any credit. Nobody wants to give the Cowboys, they want to give all the blame. So let's get down to the game and let me just, show y'all why there is just no logical way to judge the Cowboys. I feel like the Cowboys are not judged by a logical mind. You have Stephen A. Smith, who hates them. Shannon Sharp, who hates them. You have Skip Bayless, who overly loves them. Will Kane overly loves the Cowboys. I'm the only guy on planet Earth that you can talk to about the Cowboys. I have no issue saying we suck. I have no issue saying we didn't play good. I have no issue saying who should go. I have no issue on calling out the Cowboys. But I also have no issue calling out y'all Cowboy haters. Because y'all are just as delusional and just as pathetic as Cowboy fans. So we'll get down to this. Let's get down to the game. So the Cowboys played the Eagles yesterday in a classic, man. Great game. They won 29-23. It took overtime, you know. But hey, it's the defending champions. It's the defending champions a divisional game. If the Eagles won last night, they're sitting here in first place. So I don't want to hear all this. They didn't have nothing to play for. No, if Philly had won last night, they're number one in the division with a home playoff game on the horizon. So I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Dak Prescott had himself a roller coaster of a hell of a game. He was 42 of 54. Damn. 455 yards passing, 3 touchdowns, 2 INTs, and a fumble. Zeke had 113 on the ground, 72 catching. Had a good game. My man, Amari Cooper, rolled tide. 10 catches, 217 yards, 3 touchdowns, including the game winner. So, I mean, now I understand the Eagles have a banged up secondary. I don't feel bad for them. Nobody feels bad for the Cowboys when they have injuries, so I don't want to hear it. So yeah, the Eagles had a lot of injuries in their secondary, you know. But hey, I don't. The Eagles get no sympathy from me. We got 2 of our best offensive linemen out right now. We got guys injured too, so I don't want to hear it. But I'm watching that game last night, man, and the question is, the Cowboys outgained them by 300 yards, and how to get to overtime? Well, I'll tell you how the game went to overtime. Yeah, the Cowboys put up a whole just buku yards. I mean, Dak Prescott 400 yards passing, Amari 200 receiving, Zeke had about 200 by himself. But when you turn the ball over and you have 11 penalties, that's how you keep a team in the game. When you have penalties. The Cowboys had 11 penalties to Philly's 5. Then the turnovers. Philadelphia had no turnovers. Gregory, are you referring to Dallas Goedert touchdown? Because y'all did score on that drive after they brought it all the way back. So y'all did score. So I don't know, man. Like y'all did score, bro. Now, was it a BS call on the tight end? Yes. If you're referring to the Dallas Goedert touchdown, yes. That was a BS call. That was just him being a matter of fact, that boy good. You know, while we still talking about him, I wish we had drafted him in the second round like we had planned to, but that boy good, man. Like, for real deal good. But that was a bad call. I will give you that. That was a horrible call. That wasn't pass interference. Dude just got off him, went a great route. Big man, like, it was a great play. Great play. Horrible call. But y'all did score on that drive. So, I don't want to hear it. But, see, everyone's saying Philadelphia got robbed. Well, what about when the Cowboys were winning 16-9 and Randy Gregory sacks Carson Wentz in his own territory at the 2-yard line? Now you're a Cowboys team, you're rolling, you just scored a big touchdown, everything is good, everything is gravy, right? So you go out there, you get a sack. And they call a BS roughing the passer call. So there were some BS calls that went in our favor, and there were some BS calls that went in Philly's favor. So please, don't quit saying the Eagles got robbed, because it could have been a blowout. The play that really turned that game around was when Randy Gregory got a sack on Carson Wentz at the 2-yard line. We finna get the ball back at the 50 and score again and blow it out wide open. But no, they call a BS pass interference call. They get a free 15 yards. They go down the field and score. And that changed everything. That changed the entire game. But we're not going to sit here and go tick for tat. Because the thing that I noticed, we always want to point the finger at the referee when the call didn't go our way. Now, I'll sit here and say that the Cowboys benefited from some bad calls. And the Eagles did too. So it came down to who will make plays. The Cowboys made more plays. There were some bad calls. We gave the ball to Philadelphia 3 times. We turned the ball over 3 times. 3 turnovers we gave the Philadelphia Eagles 3 extra possessions. So I mean, I don't want to hear the robbery thing. We just won. The Cowboys won straight up fan square. But the thing that I'm really starting to notice about this Cowboys team, man, they're just playing with a swagger, man. And I haven't always seen this from the Cowboys. Even in the good days with Dez and Romo and Murray, and before that with T.O. and Romo and the whole crew, DeMarcus Ware, it was never this kind of swag. It was always kind of like, we're America's team, we Hollywood, we superstars. This team right here has a togetherness about this team. And when they beat New Orleans and the reporter asked Jalen Smith, hey, what's going on with this team? And he said, plain and simple, we love each other. We love playing for each other. This Dallas Cowboys team, they don't go in the tank. The Cowboys I knew, the old Cowboys, they lose that game last night. The old Cowboys I knew, they lose to the Saints last week. So believe me when I tell you this. This Dallas Cowboys team is different. Can they win a Super Bowl this year? I'm not going to say that just yet because I don't want to put too much and jinx myself because I know how the history has been. And you're right, Greg. Y'all did have it in the bag. There were like the game could have went either way. It was back and forth. You know, I feel like we outplayed y'all, outgained y'all, but our penalties and turnovers gave y'all a chance to win that game. I just think it came down to making plays, man, and we made a couple more plays, man. Yeah, that's what we needed. We needed a receiver to make it better. Now, I'm not saying Amari Cooper is the best receiver in football, but for what we got going on with our running game, we needed a receiver to give Dak Prescott some confidence. Now, that doesn't mean that Dez Bryant was the bum they say he was, because I still feel like Dez Bryant was pretty damn good. But when it don't work, it don't work. And Dak Prescott and Dez Bryant just never could work. The way Dez Bryant plays, Dez Bryant is more of a, hey, don't worry about it. Just throw it up and I'll get it for you. I promise you. Put it in my area. Put it high enough on the back of his helmet. I'll go get it. Dak Prescott is not that confident to make those kind of throws. Dez Bryant needs a veteran quarterback with that kind of confidence to get him the ball like that. Whereas you have Cooper, who is a very precise route runner, very, very in and out of his cuts, very fast, twitching, moving like that. So I feel like with Coop, he gives Dak Prescott an open target. So now it's like, all right, Dak, don't worry. I'll be open. Don't worry, Dak. Just throw it in my area. I'm open. Not like Dez Bryant, just throw it up in harm's way, 50-50, and I'll make it 75-25. No, Amari Cooper is no. I will be open. I will get that step. You will find me on this slant. You will find me on this dig. I will beat this guy on this stop and go, and you will find me going up the sideline. And he has given Dak Prescott so much confidence in that, and I love it. I love it, man. And I've been following Coop since high school, man. This dude been running routes like that since he was in high school, man. This dude is way beyond his years. I'm happy that he's happy in Dallas because he looks happy. Like, he got a swagger to himself now. Like, I've never seen Coop so animated and so talkative. Now he's talking, got a little swag to himself, and I freaking love it. I know y'all hate it, but I love it. But honestly and truly, man, I'm not gonna say the Cowboys right now are a contender. Well, they are. They are a contender. But I feel like with Dak Prescott, those turnovers, man, just always turning the ball over, it kind of worries me a little bit. That worries me a lot. So I gotta see how Dak Prescott, we gotta close it out. First of all, we ain't won nothing yet. We 8-5, we doing good, but we ain't won nothing yet. The division is still open. If we go out there and lose 2 in a row, and Philly wins 2 in a row, if we lose 2 in a row and they win 2 in a row, all of a sudden it's back on. You know, it's back in the game, tied up, whatever. So we haven't won nothing. Cowboys ain't won nothing yet. So I'll pump the brakes on the Cowboys being a Super Bowl kind of team. This team has to earn their right. You know, because of our recent history, and it's not this team's fault, but because of our recent history that precedes us right now, The Cowboys have to earn their way. But I tell you what, the Cowboys getting this playoffs, they will be a dangerous team because they've proven they are not afraid of New Orleans. They've proven that. Now, if the Cowboys play New Orleans again, they will definitely get a different New Orleans team than that. I don't think they'll hold them to 10 points again. So Dak Prescott in the offense better be ready to play next time if they see him again. I think the Rams have shown signs of, normalcy, that they're being a little normal now. They're not as dominant on offense as they were before, but I think they'll be fine. So that the NFC is open to whoever. I feel like the Saints and Rams are the two top dogs, but they are beatable, and the Cowboys have already beaten one of them. So they get in the playoffs, man. Who knows? Sky's the limit, dog. We'll see how it plays out, but the sky is the limit if this team get in the playoffs with the way they're playing. If that O-line can get healthy, we get Zach Martin back, Tyron Smith stay healthy. I mean, hopefully on defense we get David Irvin back. If this team goes in the playoffs like this, with this kind of role going on, man, they can be a very dangerous team, man. Well, we got 3 more games left in the NFL. We got some teams that's kind of shut down for the year. You have some teams playing for their coach's job, playing for pride. You have some teams that are playing for, playoff positioning, trying not to stay complacent. So the first week of the NFL season, I did pump the brakes, push the gas. So right now, here in week 13 we in right now, so I go ahead and do pump the gas and press the gas, pump the brakes. And the reason why I'm saying that because right now certain teams are getting a little more hype, and some teams are getting a little too much flack. So let me tell you who I'm pressing the gas on of their current opinion. Right now the Browns are kind of like, look at the Browns. Yes, the Browns are a pretty damn good team going forward. Right now, they're 5-7-1. Like I told y'all before, this team could easily be 8-2-1 or 9-3 or whatever. This team could be a lot better, but they're a young team. They lost some games they should have won. That's part of growing up in the NFL. You have to win some games that you're supposed to not win, lose some games you're supposed to have won. It's all part of the growing process, man. So I'm pushing the gas on this Cleveland Browns team. If they get Baker Mayfield some weapons and they, get a few pieces in that defense, this Browns team will be dangerous going forward. The Miami Dolphins, I'm pushing the gas on them. Yeah, I know it's a lucky win, but here's the point no one's saying. They're 7-6 right now. They're 7-6. So the Miami Dolphins are a legit team, I feel like, going forward. My man Minka Fitzpatrick holding down the defense over there. Frank Gore, Kenyon Drake in the backfield holding it down, man. So I'm all in with the Dolphins. I feel like the Patriots are getting old. This is not the year right now. But going forward, man, I like the Dolphins in that division, man. I can definitely see the Miami Dolphins being the top dog in this division sometime next year, man. So we'll see. So I'm pushing the gas on them. The Colts, the Cowboys, next opponent, I'm definitely pushing the gas on them. I feel like Andrew Luck has finally gotten healthy. Frank White has done an amazing job with that offense, man. Like I said, if you give Andrew Luck an offensive line that can protect him, the sky's the limit. You saw what he did at Stanford with a bunch of no-name guys. So imagine he's got a top 10 receiver and T.Y. Hilton. He's got a defense that's playing pretty good right now. Got a running game going. Has the best O-line in football right now. So I'm pushing the gas on the Colts, man. They are a force to be reckoned with. The L.A. Chargers, they got a big game this Thursday against the Chiefs, a team I'm not really high on right now. So I'm pushing the gas on them. Derwin James. How the hell did Derwin James fall in the draft is beyond me. This dude should have been a top 5 pick, maybe even the top pick in the draft at one point. But he fell down. FSU had a bad year. He fell in the draft. And now you've gift wrapped it, this special kid, this special athlete of a safety, and you've given him to a defense that already is loaded. That's already loaded. And you have Phillip Rivers and Mike Williams and Tyreek Williams, and you have Gates is back in the mix, man. You got What's the guy? Keenan Allen, man. You got all these weapons. So the Chargers are a legit threat. If they win Thursday, then guess what? They're number one in the AFC, just like that. So if they win Thursday, they go from the 5th seed, the first wild card in, to the number 1 seed. Everything comes through them. The Bears. I am pushing the gas on them. They may not be as dynamic offensively, but defensively, they are off the charts, man. Eddie Jackson, Roll Tide, Khalil Mack, Trevathan, Roquan Smith, Hicks, the whole squad, Leonard Ford, man. They say the best defense in the NFL may be the Ravens or the Cowboys. I say it's the Cowboys, Ravens, and Bears. Those are the 3 best defenses. You can put them how you want to put them. They're all special. But the Bears, man, they have something special in Khalil Mack. He has changed life for that team. That team is a legit contender. And just like the Cowboys, they get in the playoffs, man, they will be a nightmare for whoever they play because they can play defense. Their game can travel. So if they go play somewhere where it's cold or wherever they play at, their game will travel. So I'm pushing the gas on the Bears. I'm pushing the gas on the criticism of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now I'm saying most of these teams have gotten a lot of hype. And I'm saying, hey, hype them up, man, because they are pretty damn good. I'm pushing the gas on the Pittsburgh Steelers criticism because they deserve it. Just 3 weeks ago, they were in position to possibly steal home field for the whole playoffs. Le'Veon Bell, we don't need him. You know, we got everything we need. Now, James Conner's injured. Big Ben is out here doing Big Ben things. You know, Mike Thomas frustrated. Here we go again with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So it's like, once again, the Pittsburgh Steelers continue to be their biggest enemy, their own worst enemy. So we'll see how it plays out. Now we got to pump the brakes here. Everyone's saying that New England is falling off. They're getting old. Man, look. They lost yesterday on a once-in-a-lifetime 0.1% play. If that don't happen, they win the game. Everything's good. Lucky for them, Pittsburgh lost, you know, so everything is still right there for them. So I'm saying pump the brakes on the whole New England is dead. No, they're not dead. Brady is old, but the guy is still Tom Brady. So we'll see how it plays out. But I'm saying pump the brakes on New England. They're still going to be there. They'll still be in the AFC Championship game. It will go through Foxborough. We all know this, or they'll probably go to Kansas City or whatever. But here we are, and here it stands right here, right now. In New England, to me, is still the team to beat in the AFC. The Chiefs, to me, which I'll get to in a second here, they haven't proven to me anything. So I feel like I'm still saying New England is the team to beat in the AFC. I'm pumping the brakes on this Chiefs hype thing. Kareem Hunt is out. Tyreek Hill is out right now. So they're playing shuffleboard with their backfield. Tyreek Hill is injured. So now, you know, and I love Pat Mahomes, man. I love the kid, man. He's special, got a great arm. But he really, really is in for a rude awakening. I feel like the NFL kind of figured him out a little bit. The Chiefs are dynamic, but you lose Kareem Hunt for the season. They say Tyreek Hill is hurt. It don't look too good. How long is he out? And when he comes back, how special can he still be? Travis Kelce, to me, has overtaken Gronkowski as the best tight end in football. So he's going to be solid. But if he's all you have, like, people understand, this offense is dynamic. It's dynamic because you have a explosive weapon like Tyreek Hill that will make everything wide open because nobody wants to leave Tyreek Hill one-on-one. So that's not going too well. Kareem Hunt's going. So there goes another extra 150 yards a game from scrimmage. And the defense ain't all that hot. You know, the defense is bad. They gave up 24 points to the Ravens offense. I mean, for crying out loud. So I'm pumping the brakes on the Chiefs. I feel like they're doing the same old Chiefs things. Get off to a hot start, get a home playoff game, all the hype, and you still lose. I ain't with it. Pumping the brakes on that. But I'm pumping the brakes on the Rams being figured out. I think the Rams are still legit. That offense is still highly volatile. Todd Gurley is a great running back, top 2, top 3 in the league right now. So, we'll see how it plays out. But I think the Rams will be fine, man. They'll be just fine. They did lose the head-to-head to the Saints, so that's going to come out to bite them in the ass maybe sometime in the playoff. But I think this offense is geared toward the playoff because Todd Gurley's still there. I feel like the lost Kareem Hunt has dropped my confidence in the Chiefs along with Tyreek Hill being out. But the Rams still have their Tyreek Hill and Brandon Cooks, and they have their running back in Todd Gurley. So I think they'll figure it out. I think last night was a bad night. Cold, Soldier Field was very cold, windy. They look very lackadaisical, like they didn't even want to be there. So I'm pumping the brakes on the Rams' criticism. I think they'll be fine going forward. They may have to go back to New Orleans, but hey, they feel like, hey, you know what? We was right there. We was right there, and then y'all got with the long touchdown and won the game. So it was right there. So they're not afraid to go there and play. So that's how I feel, man. So, but anyways, that's my show for the day, y'all. Didn't have much, man, but like I said, big things coming soon for 1K Sports, man, including live shows and fan interaction, man. So y'all stay tuned for that. Hope y'all enjoying y'all Christmas time, holiday shopping and stuff, man. So, like I said, it's 1K Sports, man. Uncut, unbiased, unfiltered, unapologetic, man. This your boy PC Williams, man. Y'all be easy.